Hello YouTubers, it's Dave's Life Over 65, just making a quick video. Forgot the tripod again, but then I really hadn't planned on doing this, so you'll have to forgive me. This is my, I call it my 10C's bag because it's not my bug out bag, but it kind of doubles as my get me home bag. But I have the 10C's in here except for the cargo needle, which I keep forgetting to get. And I'll make that a priority when I get home. Okay, sorry about that, but I had to cut away because this is impossible to do with one hand. Anyways, I have a new addition to my my 10C's bag, and here it is. Pardon me for a second. I've been researching and looking at different videos, mostly videos where people are out in the field doing things you do out in the field. So now I have stopped off and I finally settled on this knife, which is a buck knife. It's called the Buck Selkirk, and I forget the number on it. Anyways, this isn't one I've seen advertised in too many stores, but luckily our Canadian Tire, which is a hardware store in Canada, did stock them, although all the stores within easy driving range of my home were sold out. I think they're a very popular knife. Anyways, I ended up coming to Campbellford, and they said they had one in stock, and they indeed did. It was a demo, but it had never been handled. But so they did have that, and so I purchased it. It was $89 and change. With tax, it came to just barely over $101. And this is a knife. Now, I wasn't too impressed with the sheath at first, but I've kind of grown to like it. The one of the main features of the sheath here. Let me turn it over so I can't stand it up. Okay. Well, the belt loop thingy here is configurable by merely unbolting these bolts here, and you can make it for a hip mount, vertical hip mount, or you can turn it 90 degrees and mount it horizontal. There's even a minimum way of mounting it on an angle, although it's not exactly, I don't think it was really intended for that purpose. This knife does come with a kind of a survival feature. It comes with the fire steel. I can never remember how to pronounce that word, cerium or something. Anyways, there's your fire steel. And I like this one. It's a little longer than the one that came with the Bear Grylls, and it's longer than the one the standalone that came with my that I bought from Canadian Tire as well. Okay, here's the Woods fire steel. As you can see, it's I've used it a lot. Well, I've used it enough to know that it works really well. I like it because the length of the actual rod is a little bit longer, which means your striker will be in contact with the fire steel for longer, producing better sparks, I think. A nice advantage of the Sheath fire shield holder is, watch when I lock this in. There, see, right there, that little locks right there. And then for safety, for further safety, you can loop the cord around the bottom so that even if it did somehow come loose, it can't come all the way out of the sheath. It's hard to do with one hand. Nope. Make a liar out of me. Anyways, that's the idea. I think what I've seen in some videos, they replaced the cord that it came with a elastic type of cord, and that seems to work pretty good. Actually, I think I put it on wrong here. Okay, this demonstrates a little better. I put the knot on top. So if you pull it out, you see it doesn't come all the way out, although this can still come off, and I suppose theoretically it could be lost, but how that would happen without you knowing it had happened is beyond me. But another thing is when you loop it over the bottom, it gets it out of the way. Okay, let's move on to the knife. Okay, the knife here is in a nice little plastic sheath, pretty solid. The belt loop has an adjustable thing in here. I don't know if you can see these holes, and basically move that down to accommodate a really narrow belt or a medium belt, or the kind of belts I like to wear, which are the thick belts, and keeps it from rattling around. It also has some holes here. You can use some paracord to tie it to your leg, although I find when I put it on, it sits really well and doesn't flop around much. I was a little bit concerned that when I was wearing it on my side that it would dig into me, because I have rather pronounced love handles. In other words, I'm fat. But that isn't a problem. It does come with a little thing here for your fingers. You can put your thumb on there and pull it out. Although I find that really doesn't help. I just grab the knife by the handle and out it comes. When it's locked in, it's not going to come out. It has a little drop point here, really nice and sharp at the tip. Out of the box it comes reasonably sharp. I don't think you can shave with it. I've tried and it didn't really do much. Yeah, I can't shave with it. But, oh, did cut one hair off. Anyways, I particularly like the fact that it doesn't have any kind of coating on it. Coating looks cool, but in my experience, and this is just my experience, it tends to get marked up when you're using it to baton or other things. It just tends to get scraped up and usually after a while wears off. It has a little thing here, which is not for your finger, unless you have incredibly small fingers. What that's for is your fire steel. Are we still filming? Yep. That's not going to come out on its own. The idea being is that your fire steel fits in that little slot there. There it is. Maybe I'm holding it the wrong way. Oh no, there were two little pieces of the fire steel. There we go. You just got to get the angle right. As you see, it fired a pretty good piece of pretty good sparks there. And the other thing is, if you hold it at 90 degrees, you can actually scrape. Of course, when you don't want it to spark, it does. You can scrape pieces of the fire steel onto some kindling and then strike it and set it off. So that's what that's supposed to be. And if you're more traditional like me, you want to use the back of the knife, there's no reason why you can't do that. Works just as well. Oh, fell off. Oh well. Anyways, this fire steel, this one is particularly nice because you can scrape it without actually setting it on fire. Oops. Sorry about that. Anyways, this knife's a lot sharper than I thought it was. I took a little bit of the table off when I was bringing together the pieces of fire steel. You can't see it, I hope, because it's not my table. Anyways, you can use the back of the knife as you see with a lot of other knives. I'll put the dimensions and stuff in the comment section. And I particularly like the handles on these. This I thought when I bought it was wood, but it isn't. But it's very durable, and it really fits my hand nicely, and it has the jimping on the side here. Now I don't have anything here to test the, to see how well it feathers, but I've watched a lot of videos where they do that sort of thing with this, and it seems to work quite well. And I don't know, the jury's still out on the sheath. I think I'm going to pick up a leather sheath, because I do like leather. And of course have a pocket put in for the fire steel. Anyways, that's it from Dave's Life Over 65.